outdoorsman out here traveling on I-24 heading for Nashville. Today I'm attending the 2024 National Wild Turkey Federation Convention that's held annually here in Nashville. And I remember the first one I went to, the first one I attended was, I believe, 1994. Been a long time, folks. I think it's going to be a good event. If you've never gone before, I would highly recommend it. Especially if you're a turkey hunter. You know, if you've never been to one of these conventions. Okay, folks. Sorry about that. Had to concentrate on my driving there. I just turned off on Briley Parkway East, heading towards Opryland, and that's where they hold the convention every year here in Nashville. Anyway, as I was saying, if you're a turkey hunter and you care about this activity, I think it would be highly recommended to attend one of these conventions at least once in your life, because you know you're going to meet so many people that are into the same thing as you are. If you're an outdoorsman and a turkey hunter, there's just a lot to see here, folks. So today's going to be one of those fun-filled videos. I think you'll enjoy coming along with me, and we'll see what is available up here now and see who we might run into. Follow the turkey tracks. Okay, folks, I finally made it inside one of the convention centers in an exhibit hall here. As you can see, there's lots to choose from. I'm going to make my way around through here. Lots of people here today because it is a Saturday. I'll be interviewing a few of the vendors here as I make my way through here. And hopefully we'll get some new products that I'll be using this spring during turkey season in the woods. So come along with me, let's go check it out. Folks, I'm here with Matt Dale. I'm sure you're familiar with him if you're a turkey hunter. You know, I'm sure that a lot of the advice that he's given through the years has helped a lot of you turkey hunters out there. And I wanted to promote some of his products. He's got a new turkey call out, and I'll let you tell the folks if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's the Spring Fever Custom Calls out of Indiana, and I've been working with them for a few years. We just came out. I have a signature line of calls there on their website. I have a standard box call, slate call, mouth calls. But this year we just came out with the little slide. My box call is named Old Sly. My new one, it's little bitty. It's a miniature box, but it's not really a box. It's a hybrid call. It's a box, but inside of the box, it's actually slate. So for all you slate, you know, guys that like a slate call, you get that real pretty clucks and purrs that you have with the slate, but it's in the chamber of a box.
Right.
So we all know a box call really sounds good.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
Out there. But this call is so great because you can work it with one hand. It's really small, so for guys that don't like turkey vests, you know, because I beat guys, I just don't like a heavy turkey vest. They just put like a mouth call, a box of whatever they call it, mouth calls, and then they put maybe a slate call in a side pocket, you can put this call right in this side pocket and just go on turkey hunting.
Yeah,
So
I like the small size of it.
Yeah, it's called the little slide. Now my other box calls old slide. This is the little slide. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate what you've been doing. And we're right out of Virginia, so we're not too far from each other.
That's right.
So
I'm a Tennessee boy.
You can't beat us Southern guys.
No, absolutely not. You know, really, the Eastern wild turkey has always been known as the most difficult turkey to try to call in. And I would say that new call that you've got is going to fool a lot of old gobblers.
Man, I'll tell you, sometimes, especially down in where the impression line.
Right.
But and that's another thing about this call is that. If you're going through a place and you can't get nothing with a mouth call or a box or something that that you just they won't respond to, this sound is so it sounds so good at turkeyish, like a turkey call, but it's a different pitch, different frequency. Many times they hear that new hen, they think it's a new girl in town.
Absolutely.
That new girl in town, and he'll gobble.
I think sometimes turkeys, especially on public land, they get conditioned to certain calls, and when you introduce something new like that,
what it is, it's the same cadence. Like even around this show, we've talked about it. When people are, and I know they're selling calls, but you'll hear, but that's what they do out in the woods. They have the same cadence. They have the same thing. You want to put feeling in your call.
Absolutely.
You want to put emotion in your call. Hens have emotion.
Right.
They're a live animal. They're not monotone. I've always compared it to a heart monitor in a hospital. It's just, and some people, it's the same thing. But if you'll put emotion and rise it and let it go and, put a feeling into it, that's what gets them gobblers many times to think, oh, it's a real deal. So woodsmanship is, and you know this, woodsmanship plays a big role.
Big part.
And people say, what's more important, calling or woodsmanship? To be I don't know if there is a perfect turkey hunter, there probably isn't, but to be a, quote, perfect turkey hunter, you got to have both.
Right.
But you have to also, I think, a little bit more than calling, you better know how to set up, and you better know woodsmanship, because you can be a great caller and not kill nothing because you ain't set up right.
And I'm guilty of that. I've done that many times. But you learn from experience. You learn.
And that's what my channel is about.
Right.
You come over to Dell Outdoors, you're going to see some hunts. In fact, I posted a hunt last night from New York, and you can see hunts on there. But my channel is a little bit different than most YouTube channels, where I try to break down the strategies, and it's more educational, and it's really hardcore turkey hunting teaching.
Right.
So it's like woodsmanship, setting up on hung up gobblers, when to call, when not to call, field birds versus timber birds, ridge birds versus holler birds, how you set up on them, how you move on them. And so I really break down a lot of strategies on how to kill turkeys, and that's what it's about.
One thing that I remember from your videos is those late season gobblers are usually the big long spurt ones. I called one in last year, and I had him coming, but I made a little motion with the camera, and he caught that. But it was one of those wise old gobblers. Listen to this man, because he knows what he's talking about. He's been turkey hunting a long time.
I appreciate it. After you've been hunting them for 30 some years, you sort of, kind of know a little bit about it. I don't know everything, and I screw up. You screw up. I screw up.
Everybody
we all screw up.
Everybody does. Right.
Sometimes I'll make stupid mistakes and go, man, that's a rookie mistake here.
But learning from those mistakes.
But you learn from it.
Right.
And nobody's going to be perfect.
Right.
But the knowledge that's out there, and especially like you find somebody like myself that's willing to pass on the knowledge, and that's the theme of our channel, is passing the knowledge.
Right.
It just really helps. It just really helps, the guys that's just getting into it, or even veteran guys.
Yep.
I didn't think about that,
Well, listen, I want to wish you the best of luck with that.
I appreciate it.
I really do.
All right, well, appreciate everybody. Tune over to Dell Outdoors. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you. Well, hello, folks. I've got a legend here with me, Mr. Eddie Salter. I've been watching his videos for a long time, back when he was with HS.
That's it. That's it. Yes, sir.
And I've learned a lot from this gentleman here. He's been with me through my turkey hunting career and also my deer hunting, bow hunting career. I've gotten a lot of tips from him, and those of you that know him from the videos that you've watched, you know he's a legend right here, and it's just such an honor.
In my own mind.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, you know, it's nothing like being able to come to a show like this right here. There's so much to see, and you know, for me to be able to be here, it's really an honor, and I appreciate you coming by, and you know, and let's catch up with everybody, and let me catch up with you a little bit, and you know, if you have never been here, you ought to look at coming one of these days. There's a lot to see.
That's right. That's right. I attended my first one here in '94.
'94. Okay.
A long time.
Well, I'm gonna give this gentleman my number here, and maybe we can he can call me up. We can do some more, and maybe we can have some feedback from y'all. Maybe have a question or two that you would like to ask, and this man will take care of it. God bless y'all. Kill a 30-pound turkey this year.
Well, folks, we have Scott Turner here from Heavy Shot, and those of you that are turkey hunters, you well know about the reputation of Heavy Shot. We're going to let Scott show you some of the new products that they have available for anyone that might be interested.
So as far as a new product for turkey, this year we're just doing a couple line extensions. So the first one I want to talk about is our new 28 gauge 3-inch, and it's a Magnum blend is a 12 density tungsten, but 3 shot sizes that are blended, and that way it's everything up close all the way out to it's still lethal at 66 yards. The other one that I personally like is the Heavy 18. It's our TSS, and again it's a 28 gauge 3-inch. We have a number 7 shot and a number 9 shot. And we actually have both of these available over there, but it's it works.
Yeah, I've been using it for many years, and those of you that follow my channel know that a lot of the turkeys that I've harvested have been using Heavy Shot ammunition. It's absolutely wonderful.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, enjoy your show.
All right, good luck with it. Well, folks, I just spoke with the artist of these prints here. Now, I do a little bit of this myself, but I just wanted to show off some of the beautiful artwork that's on exhibit here at the National Wild Turkey Federation. These are all done on feathers, on wild turkey feathers. Absolutely gorgeous work.
I would rather have that in my house.
Bobwhite quail. That's quickly becoming a thing of the past, sadly. There's a beautiful one. Deer, turkey, and bear. Wild turkey poults. Look at the attention to detail. These are originals, folks. Mark of a true artist. Look at the highlights in the eyes and how the feathers are pronounced. Gorgeous. One of the first signs of spring when you see those bluebirds paired up. Like I said, there's a lot to see at one of these conventions, and if you've never been, you really need to check it out if you're an outdoorsman. Just a little bit more of this artwork. I thought I'd show it all. folks, here we are with a legendary caller, for me anyway, Scott Ellis, and he's got some great videos out there. If you are a turkey hunter that wants to improve your calling, this is the man right here. Look him up. He's absolutely phenomenal in turkey calling, and I've learned a lot from him. So anyway, he goes all over the country, hunts wild turkeys. I assume all the sex species.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got 6 or 8 Grand Slams and a couple Royal Slams, and enjoy going across the country and chasing the different subspecies. Yeah.
It's a wonderful activity, absolutely. Well, we got some calls back here. We'll let Scott talk about some of his favorite calls, and that way we can get an idea what he really likes to use.
Absolutely. I've got 6 different designs with the New Energy, the Yellow Venom, the Raspberry Red, the Black Reactor, the Bladed V, and then the new one. It's only in the 3-pack. It's called the Dagger, and that's the new one. We're going to be releasing that in a single pack soon. As well, we got the Ninja Owl that I designed after I won the Grand Nationals 2 years ago. I did a spin-off of my hooter that I use on the stage, and we created the Ninja Owl, so that's another great tool for locating. We've also got the new Ninja Crow that came out this year. It's a great call, super loud. I can run it real quick if you'd like to hear it. This is the Ninja Crow coming out in 2024. Super loud, super realistic. It'll get a golf ball.
A lot of rasping there.
It is. There is a lot of rasping.
That's great. That's wonderful. Well, thanks a lot, Scott.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Tom. Take care.
All right, take care.
Good enough.
Well, my friends, here's Greg Clemens from the Hunting Public. And just wanted to share with y'all that watching videos from the hunting public is actually what inspired me to start making videos so that you can watch them and, learn something from them. We're all never too old to learn, and I've learned a lot from these guys. And I'm sure you're familiar with their videos. So if you haven't watched the hunting public yet, make sure you get on there and subscribe.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
It's nice to meet you.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you too. All right. Well, my friends, I've got Rep Graves here with
Gooserback game calls.
and we're going to let him demonstrate some of the calls he's got. And he just showed me a call that will work when it gets wet. I know a lot of times you get caught in a rainstorm or, just a spring shower sometimes and your calls stop working. Well, he's going to show you a call that will continue to work.
Got our white Thunder Wonder striker. Want to dip it in the water. Cup of water I have right here. Soaking wet on a glass or a crystal call. You can see in there is soaking wet. It'll even play on a slate.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Now, what kind of calls, what all do you have here?
We have a little bit of everything. We got a couple different colors of slate. We got purple, green, and red slate. We also have aluminum, and of course we got some powered crystal, and even some ceramic on the far end of the table. All of which will work totally soaking wet with our Thunder Wonder striker.
Okay. Is there a website or something folks can look up?
There is a website. We've got it on our strikers here to be www.gooserbat.com.
All right. Well, look that up, folks, because, turkey season's going to be here before you know it. And if you hunt in one of those states where you get a lot of rainfall, remember this call here because I think it'll help you out a lot. Well, appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. You're ready.
Yeah.
All right, folks, I've got Maya here from Lacrosse, and as most of you know, I use Lacrosse boots, footwear, exclusively. And this boot right here has carried me to a lot of gobbling turkeys and also for deer hunting because it will actually keep the scent of your foot inside the boot so that you don't disperse scent and give your location away. So we'll let Maya talk about the burley.
Yeah, so this is our burley. We've been making it since 1957 here at Lacrosse, first founded in Wisconsin, and now in Portland, Oregon. This is a foam-lined boot, so you're getting some warmth here in the bottom. We've got a great lug bottom here for traction and insulation while you're walking and hunting. And then obviously we've got a great pulley system to keep you tight in the boot.
Right.
But we've been making this boot since the beginning. It's our tried and true boot. Lacrosse is a rubber company. company. We come from rubber, we make rubber, and we're confident in rubber and confident in the quality of this product.
Yep. One thing I can say for sure about these boots, they're just really durable. I've had mine for years, and about every 10 years or so, you know, if they last you 10 years, 10 hunting seasons, as hard as I hunt, they should last just about anywhere.
Absolutely, and a little bit of rubber conditioner, polish them off, wash them off after each wear, and they'll last you a lifetime.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Maya.
Of course, it was good talking with you.
I appreciate that. All right, folks, we got Owen here from Brookside Game Calls, and he's got quite a display here where you actually are able to build your own call, and you can order these parts online.
Yep, right off the website. Yep.
So tell us a little bit about your product.
All right, so what we do is we try and help out the small call builders, and we produce our wood pot blanks like so. So to put one of these together, it's not very difficult to do. So all you got to do is sand off the inside here on the rim for the soundboard to sit. You sand that down. You then hit that with a little bit of glue. We use Goop or E6000 to do so. And next thing you do, you'd apply your glue to that and take your soundboard and insert onto the perch right there on the inside of the call. So then from there, as you put that on there, we do it like a slight quarter turn, and then we will then apply a plastic clamp, hold for like 24 hours to assure that it sets. And then after that, we will take our playing surfaces and you'd apply glue to your next rim above there for your surface. Put that in. Some people usually clamp that. We only do a slight quarter turn when we put that in there and glue it. But other than that, that's about it. That's all it really takes.
Well, if you're interested in building your own call, I would recommend getting in touch with this young man. And is there a website or anything that you can?
Yep, we have a website. It's BrooksideGameCalls.com. We have just about anything you can imagine on there to get your calls going.
You got some locator calls too here, I see.
Yes, we do. We have crow calls here. We also sell Alhooter guts as well. We don't have the barrels for those right now, but if you are into wood turning and can build your own barrels, we got the guts there too for you.
Okay. So this is just perfect for the craftsman at home that wants to build his own calls.
Yeah, anybody that wants to mix and match and make something that they want, like any sound surfaces, you can always mix and match soundboards as well as your playing surface to get that right tune.
Let's look at some of these materials you have here, where you got slate.
We got some slate. This right here is ceramic. This here is aluminum. We got some copper, some small playing surfaces for like bird calls. These are for trough calls here, as well as that. Purple slate, red slate, crystal, just about anything you can imagine.
Okay. Now, what about your pot calls? What different types of wood do you have for that?
We have all sorts of different species for our pot calls. High-end Coca-Cola down to your lows of like cherry and maple. We got just about anything in between.
Now, what would you recommend for somebody that's starting out? You know, wouldn't be too difficult, something that'd be kind of simple for them to build and still get a pretty good sound.
So what I would recommend for a beginner to start off a call, a lot of people tend to choose either a purple heart call or a walnut, and it's always best for a beginner to use like slate over slate. It's the easiest thing to play. It's easy to purr on, easy to get them soft tree yelps, that type of stuff.
Okay, well, good.
Yep.
So remember, folks, if you want to build your own call, check out Brookside, and I'm sure he'll square you away. Listen, best of luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Beautiful. It's all right. Well, folks, here I am with Sam Pope from Chattahoochee Game Calls, and he's got an unusual call here that he'd like to demonstrate. Pretty neat idea. Now, is that an older call or older?
That's a really old call. My dad invented it about, I'm going to say probably 1989.
Wow.
We've sold about 22,000 of them.
Very nice. I see you've got some other calls here.
Yes, sir. Got a poplar box call, and the poplar came from Waddy, Kentucky, out of a tobacco barn.
That'll reach out there.
That'll reach out there and get them. That's an older call that my wife come over and show when you kill the turkey, the show was over.
Yeah.
It's a double-sided. You can run it on both sides.
Completely different sound.
Completely different sound.
Yeah, that's versatility, folks. If you want a call that has two different sounds in the same pot call, you can use different strikers, but if you've got a call like this one, you've got even more versatility. And so the different materials you have here, what is that?
That is anodized aluminum. You do not have to surface it. You don't have to sand it. That's what I like about it.
Right.
Yes.
Very nice.
It's sort of laminated with
Walnut?
black walnut and white maple.
Wow, that's pretty.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, listen, I appreciate it very much.
I do too. Appreciate
Thanks
you
a lot.
coming by.
All right.
Thank you.
Best of
Have
luck.
a great weekend.
All right, you too. Amazing. Oscillated perfect. Taxidermy can be a real testimony as to the artist's skill. I mean, look at the detail in that. Okay, my friends, I'm here with Sean Calhoun, and he runs Gobbler Down Custom Calls and also Hunts of Honor, as you can see. And it really does my heart a lot of good to see someone that will support our veterans, because my dad was ex-military, and I've got an uncle that's also retired military, and you know, the veterans need a lot of help, so I'll let him talk about that for a moment.
Thank you for that great introduction. I started Hunts of Honor 12 years ago as an honor, way to remember, way to pay it forward for 29 brothers that I've lost overseas. I've spent a little over 9 years in the war zones myself, and it means something to me to be able to give back. And I'm a hunting fanatic, so if I can share that passion with other people, and it's all about getting people around like-minded guys. We hang out, we talk, and it's great therapy work. And we really do some good stuff out there. We take around 50 vets a year now, but it's not limited to veterans. It is law enforcement officers, first responders, Gold Star families, and children who've had a parent killed in the line of duty. So you can check us out, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. You can send us an email at huntsofhonor@gmail.com. All my information's on the website, huntsofhonor.org. I like to say we're a real nonprofit. No one gets a salary. We have no paid employees. The one 100% volunteers. 100% of the proceeds go back into the program.
That's quite honorable, sir. Nice to meet you.
You too, buddy.
And best of luck.
All
I really
right.
appreciate it.
Thanks. Good luck this turkey season.
You too. Thank you.
All right.
I go by Ronnie.
Ronnie, okay. Well, hey folks, I got Ronald Evans here from Remington, and as you all know, Remington is a sponsor of my channel, and he's going to talk about some new products that's coming out for Remington. And I just did a review on Remington TSS turkey loads, those right there, 2 weeks ago.
Awesome, well, good deal.
That's some great patterns, 20 and 12 gauge.
Okay, yeah, we've got them 20, 12, and 410s.
410s.
And we load them at 7s and 9s, right? So again, like the TSS, everybody knows it's 18 grams per cc of density as compared to lead, which is 11.2.
Right.
So you can go down in pellet size, so you get more pellets in a pattern, but still have a good range. So that's the good thing about the TSS.
Let's see some new products you might have here.
So also new this year, well, TSS been out a couple years. This new this year is called Nitro Pigeon. This is for your pigeon shooters. You can use it dove hunting, but it's a ounce and a quarter at 1,230 feet per second, 12 gauge. You get our one-piece body, a brass cap. But this is also great for like guys that go to game preserves. You know, when you go to game preserves, birds they're a little closer to you than when you are shooting wild birds.
Right.
So you're not shooting 1,400 feet per second ammo, you shoot 1,230. So it really works good for that. Also new this year, we've got our duplex nitro steel. So back in the early 90s, we was the first company to put out 2 sizes of shot in one shell. So back then we was running around 1,200 feet per second or so. Well, we've gotten better with time, from powders to wads and all those things like that. So we brought it out again, and I've got it in 4 different loads right now, all 12 gauge, ounce and a quarter. I've got it in 2x6, a 2x4, a BB/2, and a BB/4. But it's this nitro steel duplex. It works really well. We're running at 1,450 feet per second. Some of the patterns we saw was remarkable, especially with the 2 BB configurations.
Right.
We were seeing 90% of the pattern is staying inside of a 30-inch circle at 40 yards.
Wow.
That's quite remarkable. I've shot the 2x4 and killed several ducks with it, but the BB/4s work awesome on geese. I've shot some Canada geese with it, and it was wonderful. Here's a little display. You can see the shell is also going to have a black oxide cap and an OD green body. So it's camouflaged. We've already oxidized the cap so it don't rust as easy. So those are good things like that. Our standard steel wad works really well.
Right.
Also new this year, we're putting out in the market is our Premier AccuTip MZ. This is the bullet that works in our AccuTip Premier Slug 20 gauge. The way of fixing it up so it can be shot out of a muzzleloader. You get a 12-pack like this. It's the same slug, and we also got with our friends at Harvester and got their Sabo that's corrugated, so it's easier to load. We wanted something that was easier to load and shot well. We shot this bullet across several platforms of muzzleloaders. We tested it with loose powder, pellet powder, and the fire stick, federal fire stick, and it worked wonderful across all platforms.
That's quite a mushroom there.
That mushroom, I shot that myself.
Really?
That is a mushroom that I shot at 200 yards into ballistic gel. At 200 yards, you get 100% expansion, meaning the size of that bullet grew 100% at 200 yards. Then, when you actually weighed the bullet, 97% of the bullet was retained.
Wow.
The only thing you lost was that tip.
That's right.
So what does that mean? If I've got that much expansion with that weight retention, all the terminal ballistics that we're looking for, terminal performance, when it hits the animal, it does its job.
Absolutely.
So we're really excited about that as well too.
I've noticed those in shot shells like you mentioned before, and I was wondering.
Yes, they work really well here too. Yeah.
Now, what about rifle ammunition?
Rifle, we've got some new stuff over here. So let's see if we got a box or two of that.
All right.
Okay. So
products we got out this year for handgun is core lock handgun. So that's going to be in your 44, your 41s, your 10 millimeter, and 357. So that's a core lock handgun. It's going to be right toward our hunting group with handguns. Also this year I don't have one here, but we got our cut ammo. That's our solid copper bullet tipped. So that's new coming out this year through multiple calibers. And we also have core lock copper, which is solid copper hollow point. And then we also got, we came out a year or so ago with a core lock tipped. And then we have the old standby core lock that we'll never stop making.
And these are the calibers that's available?
That's the calibers on this one here. And we're always doing line extensions to add more all the time.
Right. That's for everyone to see. So look for those core lock tip bullets. I'm sure that's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, they're really well. So I've had people ask me, so why did we need a core lock tip? Well, the one thing that's really worked well with the core lock tip is the ballistic coefficient is a little better on this bullet. It's still mechanically locked together like the old core lock, but because the ballistic coefficient, you get more range out of it. So that's a legitimate 500 yard bullet right there. Right. So that's why we went that direction.
That's impressive. I spoke to someone at the plant in Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
And they said that Remington has actually invested a lot of money in improving the ammunition, including the rimfire line.
Yes, we've done a lot of work in the rimfire line. Sure have. Worked on shell geometry, mixed explosive recipes. Done a lot of things around that to make a lot better round. Yes, sir.
Well, I posted a video last summer, and for those of you that watch my channel, I posted a video about the Remington Golden Bullet hollow point.
Yeah.
And as you see from the channel, when I posted it, I was getting almost half-inch groups of 50 yards.
Oh wow! That's good.
That's impressive. That's a lot better than the old Golden Bullet.
Yes, it is.
So they definitely have improved very much, and I could tell a difference right away. So anyway, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Glad you stopped by.
All right, thank you. Well, folks, here behind me are some of the exhibits of whitetail and turkey taxidermy, wildlife taxidermy, and it's absolutely wonderful and very artistic work here. So I thought I'd include this in this video just to show you folks and share what I am experiencing here at the National Wild Turkey Federation Convention. That's a full body mount of a deer, whitetail. Absolutely gorgeous. There's a bobcat with a black squirrel. How about that? There's a white turkey. For those of you that don't know, occasionally you get these white albino turkeys in the wild. That one there has multiple beards. As you can see, it's quite a trophy there. We'll go down to the other end.
Sorry if I'm getting you.
It's okay.
That's extremely.
There's a piebald fawn. probably a stillborn fawn that somebody found. There's a buck in velvet. That's incredible. The realism that's put into every mount like this. I mean, just look at that. There's another ocellated turkey from Central America. There's some originality right there. That one there is the People's Choice Award. We got a hunter for the traditional bear bow. Look at the attention to detail. Folks, I've had a pretty busy day here, and there's still quite a few people here, but a lot of folks are leaving now. It's starting to get late, and I'm starting to get a little bit hungry and tired, so I'm going to head on out of here. Well, boys and girls, I certainly hope that you enjoyed that little video. You know, there was just so much to see at that National Wild Turkey Convention up there in Nashville that I really just couldn't cover it all. I mean, there was just so many different vendors there. I just had to touch bases with a select few and wanted to share that with you. And one thing that I really noticed and that was very pleasant for me was that there were a lot of young folks that were getting involved in the outdoors. Turkey hunting, deer hunting, you know, duck hunting, whatever. And when you see young guys and gals getting involved in something that's a time-honored tradition like hunting and fishing, just outdoor activities, it really does my heart good. It really does. Just like the young man Owen from Brookside Game Calls. You know, he's starting a business from scratch pretty much and making your own game calls. What a great idea, you know. His business is centered around the person that wants to make their own game calls, you know, assemble their own design, so to speak, from the raw materials that it takes to make a game call. And this spring I'm going to be trying this one here out that I put together myself, this little pot call. And I started sanding on it a little bit this morning, just like he instructed, and I don't have the parts glued together yet. But as you'll be able to tell here in just a moment, it's sounding good already. Of course, that's going to sound different once I put it all together, but it's already starting to make turkey sounds, as you could tell. This will be a slate over glass. Here I've got the friction surfaces, and then I've got the pot call itself, the pot itself, made out of laminated wood and walnut, you know. So I'm really curious to see how well this little call will do, and we'll give it a try when turkey season finally arrives. I picked up a couple of more strikers. These two here, I like these laminated strikers very well. This is one that I constructed last year. This was made out of walnut, and it sounds really good. I think I demonstrated this before. This one here on a slate call. And then for a little bit higher pitched call, using this walnut striker, I've got an older glass call here. This is an HS Strut Black Widow. This goes way back, folks. This goes back to the days when Eddie Salter was making videos for HS Strut, the gentleman that you met in the video. But anyway, let's see how this sounds. I can hear that echoing against the woods back here. So, you know, that's a dynamite call. Nothing wrong with that call. So let's try one of these new strikers and see how it sounds on this glass call. And the slate call. A little bit more subdued, a little softer. Sometimes that's all it takes to call in that old gobbler. Now, you saw me interview Scott Ellis. He's a famous turkey caller, and he has a channel, a YouTube channel called Hunt Quest. If you haven't looked that up yet, folks, and you're a turkey hunter, you're missing out. So do yourself a favor and check out his channel. You'll learn a lot from his calling ability, which is, in my opinion, right there on top with the best of them. And he recommended these Woodhaven calls. It's a 3-pack here. I'll go ahead and open one of them, and I'll try to use one. I always have to kind of break one in. These are still brand new. Haven't been out of the package yet. But we'll see right off the bat what kind of sound we can get. This one here is a split V with 3 reeds in it, and well, folks, I typically like to take a new call like this and take it out of the package, and I'll put it in my mouth and carry it around for a few days when I'm alone, or like if I'm driving a car down the road, I'll practice with it in the car and just kind of get a feel for it and get it to fit my mouth properly. And that's why I like a aluminum framed mouth call, because you can bend it and shape it to the shape of your mouth, you know, to kind of get that custom fit. And you know, I've always liked an aluminum frame much better than a plastic frame, because you can't really bend a plastic frame mouth call. If you try to bend them, a lot of times they'll break and you've ruined the call. But let's see what this one sounds like right off the bat, right out of the package. I'm going to have to kind of wear it in a little bit, but it's starting to sound pretty good. Well, now in regards to some of the newer developments recently for ammunition that's catered to turkey hunters, I interviewed the representative for Heavy Shot, Scott Turner, and this is what I used to use all the time, you know, in 20 and 12 gauge. And, you know, he had some new products available. If you want to try those are fine. And the reason I used Heavy Shot is because at one time Remington partnered up with Heavy Shot to produce these shells, and this is what I used all the time, folks. I've harvested many turkeys with these shells right here. Now, these are no longer available. These are conventional heavy shot. This is a 1 5/8 ounce of number 5 tungsten shot with an escape velocity of 1,225 feet per second at the muzzle out of a 3-inch Magnum 12 gauge. Okay, and I'll go ahead and take one out of the box here. I held on to these for years. These are Premier Heavy Shot loads by Remington. And the reason I went to these is because I used to use conventional copper-plated shot, you know, a 2-ounce load of copper-plated shot, and I harvested quite a few turkeys with those loads. But then when I tried these out, I was just absolutely blown away by the performance. Turkeys that were beyond my reach before, I could now harvest using that load. And that's the reason I wanted to get with Remington and see what they had available in the new TSS shot, which is even more efficient. It's a heavier type of tungsten, and you can go with a smaller shot size and get more range, denser patterns, and better penetration, folks. You know, a number 9 TSS shot weighs as much as a number 5 lead shot, if you can imagine that. So you get a much denser pattern with all those smaller pellets that will hold together better and give you more reach. And that's why Remington came out with this new Premier TSS. And I guarantee you, these are game changers. You know, these are going to give you the kind of reach and the kind of patterns that are absolutely devastating for spring turkey hunting. Well, folks, I had to take a little break, go in there and get me a cup of coffee because it's pretty chilly out here. Well, in regards to the ammunition that's currently available for turkey hunters, I think I pretty well covered that, but I know this doesn't pertain to turkey hunting, but most of you guys out there that turkey hunt also deer hunt, just like I do. And I was absolutely delighted to see that Remington has come out with a muzzleloader projectile, a new muzzleloader projectile here. This is the Premier AccuTip MZ. And you saw the interview that I had with Mr. Ron Evans in regards to just how well this ammunition performs. I decided I wanted to use this in the closing part of this video. I took one out of the package, and there's a close-up of it. Here's the sabot. And if you look really close, I don't know if that'll focus on there or not, but there are tiny striations in the petals of this sabot here. And that will aid in loading these projectiles into your muzzleloader. You know, it should glide much easier than most conventional sabots. And the projectile, let's see, this is a 260 grain copper jacketed bullet with a large polymer tip there to aid in the aerodynamics of this projectile. Once that tip is mashed down, you have a huge hollow cavity up there that's exposed for absolute positive mushrooming, you know, expansion. And that's what you need to bring down big game, whether you're deer hunting, bear hunting, elk, whatever. These should do quite well for you. And I'll be testing these out for accuracy and also for terminal performance and expansion. That should be coming up in a, not too far in the future video to get ready for the next deer season. Well, my friends, that brings us to the conclusion of this video. Let me first of all express my thanks and appreciation to you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I enjoyed making the video because I always like going to these conventions to see what's currently available, what the latest innovations are, the latest developments, and also what's still available that we counted on many years ago, such as those Lacrosse boots. You know, those boots are still being made because they're time proven. You know, they just don't make them any better. And there's a lot of sportsmen out there that, like myself, that count on things like that because they served us well in the past. You know, there's Always new developments, but sometimes when you find something that works really well for you, just stick with it. And that's what I do. So anyway, remember, if you like to go hunting, fishing, camping, shooting, hiking, whatever your outdoor pursuit happens to be, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And until next time, also remember this: hit that like button, smash the bell icon, and subscribe. That way you'll know when more videos like this one will be coming your way. Y'all take care of yourselves out there. God bless, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.